off my stage.
We're here to confront our brother because he's been abusing drugs and he's hitting his girlfriend. He'd choke her and you could hear her head hitting up against the wall and we'd have to call the cops.
So she was a month away from having a baby and she fell on her stomach running away from your brother.
When he gets drunk or starts using drugs, he just gets really violent.
Does your brother ever hit you?
He's choked me before.
Aren't you a mother first before anything else? Are you afraid of him? What times are you afraid of him?
When he's really drunk.
And how often is that?
All the time.
It can't be healthy for your baby, being scared all the time.
Just want him to get some help.
You're accused of abusing your pregnant girlfriend?
Yeah.
Then do me a favor, stand up, okay? This woman, she's carrying your child. I don't get how anybody could ever hit a pregnant woman, knowing that there's a baby in there.
Hey, the baby's in her stomach. I don't hit her stomach.
You got a woman that's standing by you, and she's saying, let's get some help. And I'm here, I'm telling you, here's the help.
So is it a yes to get help?
Take the damn help. That's what everybody's saying. That's what I'm thinking. Welcome to the show. My guests are Sisters Tikiana and Taylor. And Taylor, you're 16, and Tikiana, you're 14, right? And you're here today because of your brother. Tell me what's going on with your brother.
We're here to confront our brother because he's been abusing drugs and he's hitting his girlfriend and putting his hands on her. Like, there's been incidents where he'd choke her and you could hear her and he'd hear her head hitting up against the wall and we'd have to call the cops on him. And like when she was 8 months pregnant, she asked him if he could get her some food and he was drunk and I don't know why he got mad, but he hit her and she started bleeding. So we took her to the bathroom to wipe her off and we locked him out of the house. And then so he broke my mom's window to get inside the house. And then I had to hold him, me and my sister had to hold him back so that he wouldn't get to her. And she ran outside and she even fell on her stomach while she was pregnant to run to the car.
How far along was she pregnant?
8 months.
So she was a month away from having a baby. And she fell on her stomach running away from your brother.
Yeah, to get to the car so she could get away. Because he was trying to hit her again because we said we were going to call the cops. And he was like, if you're going to call the cops, I'll give you a reason.
Why does your brother act like this?
When he gets drunk or starts using drugs, he just gets really violent.
And what other things does he do?
He just hits, like he's really violent. He yells and he'll scream, like he'll call her hateful names, and he does it he's disrespectful to everyone, his fiance, to us, my mother.
Does he ever do it when he's sober?
I haven't, but most of the time I always see him he's always...
He's always drunk or high on drugs. And your relationship with his fiance, you girls get along with her?
It's like my best friend.
She's your best friend?
She pretty much is. We've been really good friends for a long time.
And what do you feel when you see that your brother is pretty violent to her?
I hate it. It makes me just, I hate it.
Why does she stay with your brother if she's...
I think because she's scared of what he'll do if she tries to leave him. I think that's why.
He's that violent?
He's made threats to do things to her family and things if she leaves him and stuff. He's that violent.
When he's very violent with this girl, do you call the police?
Yeah.
There's been, I've only called him one time. I don't know about any other time that we've had to call him, but I know one time there was an incident where we had to call the police.
Did the police lock him up?
No, they don't even do anything. They just talk to him. And he's drunk whenever he talks to the police, and they don't even do anything. And he gets an attitude with them and everything. Shayra usually doesn't want him to like get locked up. She usually doesn't want us to call the cops.
Now I understand that you've been getting into trouble, right? Is that right, Tikiana? And until you recently moved, what were you doing?
I was involved in a gang, and I used to do drugs.
What kind of drugs would you be doing?
Like pot, and drink.
I mean, you're 14 years old. And why would you be doing those things?
Like, I've seen my brother do it, and I just figured, and I've seen him be in a gang, and I thought since he did it and it's coming down in the family, I figured I'd just be in it too.
And did you continue to do these things, or?
No.
And what made you stop?
The way I act whenever I realize that I act like kind of stupid, so I don't do that no more.
And you were able to, you figured that out on your own, huh? That's pretty good. What do you want to happen today?
I want him to change. I don't want him to hit on his fiance no more, and I don't want him to stop abusing drugs and doing.
And your relationship with your brother?
Talk to him.
And why don't you talk to him?
Because every time he's around, we have to deal with him being drunk and putting his hands on his baby mama. We don't want to be around that.
This woman is, she's carrying your child. But I don't get how anybody could ever hit a pregnant woman, knowing that there's a baby in there.
It ain't hurting the baby.
Are you afraid of him? What times are you afraid of him?
When he's really drunk,
And how often is that?
all the time.
Does your brother ever hit you?
No.
He's choked me before.
He's choked you before. And why did he choke you?
'Cause he was disrespecting my mom and had her up at 1 o'clock in the morning, and she had to get up early for work, and he was on parole. He wasn't even supposed to have any friends over or anything, but he had a whole bunch of friends over at my mom's house, and it made me mad, and then he wanted to use the phone to call more friends and go drink, and so I unplugged the phone, and I was like, you're not going to use the phone. I said, Mom is up at 1 o'clock in the morning, and she needs to be asleep, but she's trying to tell you to let your friends leave. You won't even listen to her, and he got mad at me because I unplugged the phone, and he choked me. And then my mom stood up and was like, had to get onto him and grab him, and so he let go of me.
All right, so what I'd like you to do, ladies, is I'm going to ask you to leave the stage. I'm going to talk to your brother, and at some point during the show, we'll bring you back out.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, let's bring their brother out. Cameron, let's bring him out. How you doing, Cameron? You got your two sisters. You know, you're accused of abusing your pregnant girlfriend? You hear your sister say that, right?
Yeah.
Then do me a favor, stand up, okay? You hear your sisters come out and they're scared of you. You're their older brother. They say you're 19 years old, that you're in a gang, that all you do is drink, that you're doing drugs, and that you beat up your pregnant girlfriend, right?
Mm.
When you hear your sisters, I mean, this isn't like, you know, an ex-girlfriend that's got an axe to grind with you. These are your two little sisters, right?
Yeah.
When you hear them saying that, what's your response to that?
I really ain't got no response.
None at all?
No.
Not like they're telling the truth, they're lying.
I mean, they probably telling the truth.
They're probably, or they are?
They are.
Okay. You know, hitting her. Your girlfriend, you're breaking a window, trying to get at her. She runs out the door. She's 8 months pregnant. She's falling down. You're hitting her. That's all true?
Somewhat. Y'all ain't got the full story.
Well, I'm willing to give you a chance to tell it.
I mean, I wasn't born with a silver spoon. I mean, I gotta do what I gotta do to survive out in the streets. You know, and right now, me and my baby mama, we ain't really on good terms right now. I mean, I gotta do what I gotta do to feed my daughter. You feel me? And I mean, you ain't gonna come to Tulsa and work a 9 to 5, so to provide for me and my family.
are you going to come to Chicago and work a 9 to 5 to take care of me and my family?
No, I got
Fair enough. I don't expect you to, but you certainly don't expect me to, right? Okay, so I go about and I provide for my family. I come to work and I work a job and I get paid and I go home and I take care of my kids and my wife, right?
All right, but
what do you do?
You don't live the life I live. I mean, you wasn't growing up like I was growing up.
How did
didn't
you
have to
grow
see
up?
I mean, thugs. I mean, I was growing up around gangbangers, you know, I mean, selling drugs. You know, I wasn't taught the right things. You know, I grew up seeing pistol play, drugs.
Believe it or not, when I was growing up, I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth either.
All right.
And there was gangs in my neighborhood, and there was bad guys and guys that went to jail that I grew up with, and there was guys that didn't go to jail. And I happen to be one of the guys that didn't go to jail. Now you say you got caught up. You got caught up with the bad guys, right?
Yeah.
You got caught. Are you in a gang?
Yeah.
And why do you? Just out of curiosity's sake, everybody has a different story. Why are you in a gang?
I don't know. I mean, it's just things I saw. You know, I mean, at the time I thought it was cool, but you know, I'm not just past my knees. I mean, it's over my chest. You feel me?
No, I don't know what that means.
I mean, it's what I seen as a kid growing up. So I decided to try to follow that lifestyle.
As you got older.
I thought it was cool, yeah.
And what do you feel about that now?
Now I feel like I'm already into it too deep.
Okay.
So, I mean, it ain't, I tried to pull back. I've tried to pull back.
And when you say you tried to pull back, what did you do?
I mean, I've tried to get a job. You know, I can't keep a job.
You tried to live a more legitimate, more law-abiding life. Gang since you were 9 years old.
Yeah.
You were shot when you were 10.
Yeah.
Shot at, or you were actually shot?
I was actually shot.
You had a bullet going through your body when you were 10
I had a
years
bullet hit right here and go out here.
Who was shooting at you at 10 years old?
I really can't put my finger on who it was.
You just, I mean, maybe you were just caught up in gunplay?
Yeah, words was exchanged. You know, he said something, I said something back. You know, he fired off, so.
No.
And I was 10 at the time when it happened. So, you know, me getting hit at 10, I'm like, whoa, you know what I mean? Okay, I get hit. If somebody come and shoot me at 10 years old, okay, I mean, come on now.
That's pretty brutal to be shot at 10
and
years
then
old.
once I got shot when I was 10, you know, I just jumped in it real hard. You know, I tried to do something so I could protect myself. You know, I had to run with pistols every day. You know.
So you started carrying a gun when you were at a very young age?
Yeah.
And that gave you a sense of protection,
well,
feeling?
I felt like it was protecting me. I mean, still to this day, you know, when I head back to the T now, I'm gonna have a pistol on me because, you know, I can't walk the street, you know, and just feel safe like that. You feel me?
You carry a gun so you make yourself feel safe.
Yeah.
To protect yourself.
Protect myself.
Now, not growing up with the silver spoon and all that, you're a smart guy. You carry a gun to protect yourself. Why the hell would you then go and beat the woman that is carrying your child? I mean, you see what I'm saying? You feel me?
Yeah, I kind of feel you.
I might be speaking out of turn here.
No, you're
but
right.
you have two sisters. You certainly wouldn't want anybody putting their hands on them.
You're right.
Well, why wouldn't you afford that to every female? I mean, especially, again, it blows my mind. This woman is, she's carrying your child, not a stranger's, your child. You should never put your hand on a woman. I say it all the time, but I don't get how anybody could ever hit a pregnant woman, knowing that there's a baby in there.
It ain't hurting the baby.
You're not that dumb. Please tell me you're not that dumb. Aren't you a mother first, before anything else?
I just want him to get some help.
I don't get how anybody could ever hit a pregnant woman.
It ain't hurting the baby.
You're not that dumb. Please tell me you're not that dumb.
You are the cop.
Get off my stage! your girlfriend, your fiance, she fell, and she could have. What if it would have ended her life?
She the one who took off out the house. Didn't nobody tell her
Because
to
you're
run out the
breaking
house.
in the house. You're breaking the windows.
Okay, well, she should have came outside and talked to me. Like I told her to come outside and talk to me.
Why would she come out and talk to you? If your
then,
dad, hey, listen, if you're that violent, you're going to start breaking in windows and chasing her. Why the hell would she just voluntarily come out and talk to you?
Well, she should have talked to
Were
me.
you high? Were you drunk?
No, I think I was drinking that day. Well, she should have talked to me when I told her to come outside and talk to me.
Why?
We could have solved it right then. You know, then my little sisters wanted to get in between, and when my little sisters wanted to get in between,
You know what? They're doing something
worse.
that's your job. They're doing your job. They're protecting that little girl.
What they need to do is mind their business.
Again, I'm just going to say it. When you decide to bring children in the world and they count on you and they don't have anybody else, like you said, you were 13 years old. You didn't have anybody. You're running away. You're on your own. You think she could take care of herself? Look at that picture of your baby. She can't take care of herself.
I'm going to take care of her.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying.
I'm gonna take care of my daughter. You know, Sherry, she's a grown woman. She could take care of herself.
First of all, you're 19 years old.
Right.
Okay? You already have 2 children. You have to grow up real fast here. If you're not willing to commit to this woman, one, if you can't commit to like, I'm gonna protect her, I'm gonna provide safety for her, I'm gonna do everything I can for her. If you cannot commit to her and be there for her, stop having kids. Stop having kids with her. All you're doing by what you're doing, the way you're behaving, the decisions you're making, all you're doing, take a good look at her. All you're doing is cheating her. You're cheating her. If I'm not doing it, if I'm not coming down there to Tulsa and putting money on your table, what are you doing to put money on your table? What are you doing to provide for your family?
You asking me what am I doing?
Yeah, like, what are you doing?
I'm hustling.
Oh, everybody says that. I'm hustling. I'm conning. I'm doing this. What is hustling doing? Selling drugs, robbing people, what?
Selling drugs.
Selling drugs.
Yep.
So good possibility you might get caught selling drugs, right?
Yep.
And what happens when you get caught selling drugs?
Make mine. And get out and try to do it different.
I'll ask you the question again. What's a good possibility when you're selling drugs? What happens to you?
Get locked up.
You get locked up. And you might get put away for a few years. Mm-hmm. So while you're locked up and you're eating your 3 squares a day and you got that cot to lay on, who's taking care of that little girl?
Her mama.
Her mama, the one that you beat, that you don't care, that you think like, I'm not committed to her. So now so a woman that you don't respect, which you don't, by your actions, what you say.
It's not like I don't care about her. I'm always going to care about her. She's always going to have a place
But you won't provide for her. You said you won't provide for her. So my thing is, you're going to go away for a few years and, you're going to leave that responsibility for a woman that you don't even want to provide for. You're going to leave this, the most precious thing in your life, I would hope so. Maybe, I don't want to put words in your mouth. But this little girl right here should be the most precious thing, and you're going to leave that responsibility to somebody you really don't care about and you really don't want to provide for. Go ahead, take care of my baby. You're going to roll the dice with living your life. I'm going to sell drugs. Aren't you smart enough to do anything else other than that?
Yeah, I've tried.
And?
It always fails.
And why does it fail? Because you choose to make it fail? Calling in? I'm not coming in today. I'm hungover. I don't feel good. I'd rather lay around the house. That's not trying. That's doing a little bit and then, I don't want to grind it out. It's easier ways to make money. I could sell dope for a couple hours and make a lot more.
I mean, it's not like I just lost my job and didn't try to go get another job. I tried to go get another job. Don't nobody want to hire me. So, I mean, I have no other choice. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to sit at the house and keep going, try to fill out applications. Ain't nobody going to hire me. And my daughter ain't got no diapers. She ain't got no formula. So I got to go out and I got to get it.
You gotta go out and get it.
I gotta go out, I gotta hustle, I gotta sell this, I gotta do something to put something in my, I gotta do something to put some food in my daughter's mouth.
That's why I always tell people, plan. Plan to have children. Have a plan. How am I going to take care of them? How am I going to be there for them? Not just, oops, I got a child. What am I going to do now? Are you proud of selling drugs?
No.
What do you think that does? Think that helps the community or destroys the community?
It destroys it.
A mother has to look out the window. Boy, I wonder if they're selling drugs today. I wonder if I can let my child go out and play. I wonder if I can let my child walk to school today. I wonder if she can get by that guy without her buying drugs or my son buying drugs. You know what I mean? Do you feel me? Someday your little girl's going to walk to school. You want a bunch of people selling dope on her way to school? All the bad temptations out there? What do you sell?
Weed.
Weed? Anything else?
Water.
What is that?
Water. PCP.
PCP, anything else?
Crack.
Crack. Also, crack, that would be a drug that would be very addictive, right?
Yep.
You ever seen crackheads?
Yep. Every day.
Not a pretty sight, is it? Destroys people. They become the living dead, actually, right? They're like skeletons walking around. And think about it. So you're going to grow up. You're selling crack to somebody. What if somebody sells crack to your daughter someday? Somebody someday makes your daughter into a crackhead. That doesn't unsettle you a little bit? That doesn't say like, man, what the hell am I doing?
Yeah.
Because there's consequences in life with everything you do. You're telling me you're the problem in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
You're not the solution, right?
I love you to death, and we don't like not being able to be around our big brother because every time he want to come around, he want to act a fool. We want to be there. We want you to be a part of the family. We want you to be around.
I don't want him to stop. I don't want nobody to get hurt.
I mean, your 14-year-old sister says, hey, my brother was a decent guy at one time. He protected me. He watched out for me. And now, all I do is I watch him get drunk, hit his pregnant girlfriend, his fiancée. These are your sisters. You're supposed to be a role model to them. And she did look up to you. Now she doesn't. Now they're afraid of you. Your sisters don't even want to be around you because they're afraid of you. I mean, do they have to strap to feel better, to feel safe?
I mean, I don't want them to.
Of course not.
And I mean, I see that they're following in my footsteps.
Yeah, your sister joined a gang just like you, was doing drugs just like you. But even at the tender age of 14, she figured out, man, this isn't for me. I better stop this. Does that bother you at all that your sisters, especially your 14-year-old, your little sister going down that path?
Yeah, it bothers me.
I know this is stupid, but I can only do the show based on my life experiences, and I can only talk about how. And I remember my little sister when I was little. I collected baseball cards when I was a young kid. And my little sister started buying baseball cards because I was buying baseball cards. And she just looked up to me. She was my little sister. So she'd have her little stacks of baseball cards on the windowsill. And your little sister is joining gangs and doing drugs that could potentially ruin her life. And you know why? Because she's looking at you, what you're doing. You feel responsible for that?
Yeah.
Well, you know what, Cameron? I'm going to give you a chance to talk to your sisters. Let's bring your sisters out. What do you want to say to your brother?
I just want to tell you that you're wrong, and you shouldn't be putting your hands on females. I mean, you talking about you got to carry guns on you for protection, but why put yourself in that situation to where you got to carry a gun and put yourself in that situation to where you do get shot at? Why do you sit up there? You selling drugs and everything like that. I don't understand you got to put food on your table for your kids and stuff like that, but that ain't the way to do it. What happens if one day one of them turn around and they follow you to where you go stay the night with Shayra? What happens whenever you stay the night with her, they find out where you is and everything like that? You turn around and you leave. They want to go in the house, get the drugs that you sold to them because they want some more. What happens if Shayra and your kids end up dead because of that? How you going to be looking then? How you going to be looking whenever my niece gets older and she's turning around, she sees what daddy's doing, so she thinks it's okay for her to go through the same situation. She see her mama getting beat, so what happens whenever she finds a dude and he's doing the same thing to her? She gonna stay around because, you know, I blame Shayra for that too. She gonna stay around because she see mama staying around doing the same thing, so she's gonna think it's okay. I love you to death, and we don't like not being able to be around our big brother because every time he wanna come around, he wanna act a fool. We wanna be there, we want you to be a part of the family, we want you to be around. But we can't because you wanna act a fool every time that you is around. So, I don't know.
What do you want to say to him?
I just want him to stop. Because I don't want nobody to get hurt.
Are you afraid of him? What times are you afraid of him?
When he's really drunk,
And how often is that?
all the time.
You are the five.
Get off my stage! I'm going to talk to your fiance. I'm going to ask you to leave the stage, and I'm going to bring you back out.
You want all of us to leave?
No, you stay. I want you to talk to her because you're the ones watching what your brother's doing to her. Let's bring Shayra out.
You okay? Please don't cry.
How you
We
feeling?
love you. We didn't want to put you through all of this, but like we just want him to change because we see how you love him. And you deserve better than that, Shayra. You know you do. I love you. That's why we want him to change because we understand that you love him and we do too.
You deserve better than that. You shouldn't. Y'all got to think about that baby, though. Like, really, it's that baby.
You know what I like to do? I'd like you girls to also leave the stage for a few minutes. I like to talk to Shayra about myself. You know, I'm up here and I meet these two young ladies, and the 14-year-old seems like she's smarter than everybody up here. It's real simple. She gets it. I don't want anybody to get hurt. I tried drugs. I joined a gang, but I realized it was bad. I stopped. And I meet your boyfriend, and I do see, like, I could see where sometimes you just look at someone and go, they're a bad guy. But I can almost see that there's something good about Cameron. There's something that he's not just a total thug. But to hear the stories of him, you know, the window breaking, you have to run from him, you fall down, you're falling on your baby,
Yeah.
the abuse while you're pregnant. I understand that you guys were young. You've been together a long time. You're only 22. He's 19. You've been together for 8 years. You guys were children when you first got together. But you see this behavior. His sisters obviously are here to protect you. Yeah. They don't like the way he treats you. Why wouldn't you say, you know what, especially after you have a beautiful little girl and now you're pregnant with a little boy, when does it end? When does this, will you say, you know what, Cameron, I can't, you can never have me ever again?
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Well, why do you stay? Can you give me an answer to that?
He's a really good guy. He really is. Underneath all that, he's a good guy, and I love him.
When does he show the good guy? I mean, he's showing it somewhat. You could see where there's a good guy in it now because he's sober. But according to his sisters, according to him himself, he gets drunk a lot.
Yeah, he
and
does.
If you say anything to him while he's drunk, he's gonna bring the lumber down on you.
Yeah.
Doesn't that make you scared?
Yeah.
You gotta be. It can't be healthy for your baby being scared all the time.
No, it's not.
Isn't it fair to your child that you live your life being with somebody that's not? You don't have to live your life in fear.
Yeah. But I love him.
I know you. I know you love him. But at some point, where do you say, you know what? I love you, but I can't be with you.
He just needs a little help.
Do you think he's willing to help himself?
Yeah.
And what makes you think that?
Because I know if he has help, he'll be all right.
Could it be that you're in love with somebody that you knew years ago and now he's not the same guy anymore?
Yeah.
I mean, that's probably what it is, right?
Yeah, it is.
I can't imagine he was that way 4 years ago, 5 years ago.
No. He has gotten a lot worse.
And how has he got worse?
I mean, his drinking has gotten a lot worse. I mean, he's always out. Doesn't come home.
It's so strange to hear. It's not like we're talking about, you know, a 40-year-old man here. We're talking about a 19-year-old. His drinking's got worse. He's 19 years old. Are you afraid of him?
At times.
And what times are you afraid of him?
When he's really drunk.
And how often is that?
All the time. So he wants to get home.
I think everybody in the audience, everybody watching at home, they're rooting for you. Say you take the damn help. That's what everybody's saying. That's what I'm thinking. Take the damn help. And it wouldn't be right and it wouldn't be good if you weren't pregnant and you said you wanted to stay with them. But that's your life. And if you wanted to live it that way and if nobody could stop you, then you live your life. But you don't even get the luxury of thinking that way because now you have to think about your children. What if he gets so drunk and he, you know, does something that you're not going to be around anymore? Honestly, the way what you know and the way you feel and what's in your gut, are you going to be okay not being around and having Cameron take care of your little ones?
No.
It's kind of hard to take care of kids when you're drunk, right?
Yeah, it is.
Or when you're walking around, you have to carry a firearm on you because you don't feel safe. You got people coming after you. It can't be a settling feeling for you when the man you're with has to strap a gun onto his side to protect himself.
Yeah, he's always been like that.
I mean, aren't you a mother first?
Yeah.
Before anything else? This is the guy that you want to be daddy, that your kids are going to see, your daughter, your son. This is their father, and he's going to act this way, and he's going to treat you, his sisters, other women, he's going to treat them like this? Are you going to be okay with your little girl, your little boy seeing him act this way? What do you want?
I just want him to get some help.
Did you ever tell him to this before? Have you ever said this to him? Why not?
I wouldn't think he would listen.
Do you want to tell him now? I mean, it's your life that we're talking about here. I think if you love him and you want things to change, then you got to tell him. He's got to change. I'm going to bring him on. You don't have to be scared. This is your opportunity to tell him whatever you need to tell him. Let's bring him out. Let's bring Cameron back out. What do you want to say to him?
You know, I love you with all my heart. I want you to be around for our kid. I really do. So do you think if we went and got help, would it make it better?
No.
You don't know?
I mean, shit, we try to work things out. You know that.
So, no.
Shit, I want to work things out.
So is it a yes to get help?
Man, how can anybody? I don't understand. How can somebody help? Huh? I mean, look how long this went on. I mean, I've tried to pull out. I've tried to pull out lots of times. It's like every time I pull out, it don't work.
Oh, that's maybe why you need help. There's nothing wrong with accepting help. There's nothing wrong. If somebody, first of all, I'm looking at a beautiful young girl that no matter, with everything that you put her through, she still loves you and wants to stay with you. She's willing to, she sees the good side of you. You are the father of her children, and she's sitting there saying, I love the guy, I want him to get help. He could be a good guy, he needs help. I think you're an incredible lucky man to have such a beautiful woman to stand by your side, even through everything you put her through. And I say, there's nothing wrong with taking help. We'll give you help, but you got to make a commitment. You got to make a commitment to the woman, to your unborn child, to your daughter. Yeah, I'm going to get help. Whatever I need to do to be a better father, a better husband, I'll get that help. If it's alcohol counseling, going to AA, if it's anger management, if it's get you a GED so you can get a decent job so you can support your family. You know, what the hell, man? I want to help you. I don't want to send you out back in the streets so you can be a thug and sell more drugs, be a menace to society. No. The whole point of the show is to turn a guy like you around. And I think you can turn around. So let's take the guy off the street and make him a productive member of the neighborhood, of the society. You got 200 people applauding you right now. They ain't booing you. They ain't hoping you go to jail. I think everybody in the audience, everybody watching at home, they're rooting for you. Yeah, say you take the damn help. That's what everybody's saying. That's what I'm thinking. Take the damn help. Because if those people can't trust you, if those people can't respect you, if those people have to be afraid of you, you got nothing. You got nothing in this world. If your children, if the woman you love, if they're afraid of you, if you're a terrible role model, if you're giving your kids no chance to grow up and say, that's my dad and I'm proud of him, then you failed at everything. Again, Cameron, you're right. You weren't born with a silver spoon. Not too many people are, really. But at this point, you're getting a great opportunity. You got a woman that's standing by you, and she's saying, let's get some help. And I'm here. I'm telling you, here's the help. Not that there's nothing wrong. There's nothing to be embarrassed or ashamed. I need help. There's times when I'm on my knees and I need somebody to help me get up. It's just that way in life. Everybody needs help. Nobody's Superman. Nobody. So for the woman that you brought the precious joy of life to you, and you got another one on the way, I think you could look her in the eyes and say, yeah, I'll go get help. But only if you really want to. It's got to come from you. Can't be me telling you. You say whatever you want to her. And then after you say, you could either walk off the stage and go get help, or you could walk off and go live the thug life.
Do we want to get help?
Then let me help you up, and let's go get you some help. Okay.